Hey, thanks for taking out some time today on this incredible afternoon. It's almost 6-7 inches here in Philadelphia. And for the next hour, you will see that even though there's so much digital threat out there that is trying after local dollars, radio truly is in a great position to reposition, refresh, and win. And this first slide shows that radio can win by running their online programs, running digital like they run on air. Use the same rules. Maybe you thought I was going to give you some kind of a secret formula, but everybody on this call has all the skills and the chops to get done. Run your web, your online, just like you run your on-air business. Use the same rules. I mean, when I walk into a market, walk into a station, walk into a TV, radio, or a newspaper, so this is across the board with all media properties. I walk in, I go, who's running your site? Who knows site inside out? Who ultimately makes decisions about ad serving and where this thing goes, where that goes, traffic analysis, all that? Who's the person that runs your site? Is that person financially motivated to make smart decisions on your website? Or are they just running your website to make it look cool and filled with stuff? Are you thinking about somebody who runs your radio site right now who might be focused on making it look cool, being focused on the financial decisions about that move? Who runs your radio station? Is it the engineer? Is it a DJ, a program director, a marketing person? Are the radio station? Of course not. It's your general manager. He's a radio-savvy business executive who knows a little bit about everything, but ultimately he has to turn a profit. And that makes a lot of sense. But when we look at who runs your radio station website, it might be more likely to be this guy. Is he a geek at your station? Is he a part of the IT department? Is he a program director, a marketing person, a DJ, a part-time guy? Could be an outside vendor that does most of the work for you? It should be somebody with radio and web savvy executive. We need to run your website just like you run your air. It's a radio station that kept on losing money quarter after quarter. In the red, what would you do? Well, you would probably try to work hard for a while, maybe lower the rate, although you don't really want to do that. Maybe you would eventually say, we got to change the format. Maybe you got to fire the whole staff. Maybe a game plan, right? What happens when you see that a radio station or a format is losing money month after month, quarter after quarter, right? When it comes to your radio station website, losing money year after year after year, what are we demanding more page views? Are we changing the format, getting a new CMS or content management platform? Or maybe lower the rate of ads? Or fire ads? Or go game plan? Are we doing that with station websites, or are we just keeping our fingers crossed? Because your wins is by running our online the same way as we run on air. The same rules apply. Are you and looking successful online? Do you advertisers support on your website? It's all true when it comes to your over-the-air signal, but why do you not apply that same setups to your online or digital? You can website, just a station. Think like a general manager, right? Profit has to come first, then operations, and then programming. It has to be in that order. We would format on the air just because we thought it was cool. Not profitable, we're not going to put it on the air. Same thing applies to the web. You should have some guys or some gals inside your station, because really, it's much more of a problem internally than it is actually going out in the field and closing deals with clients. It's the internal objections. That's the real issue, everybody. We know that, right? He says, but Mel, your online deals, they're small. The money's in spot sales. Do you know that 95% of our revenue comes from over-the-air spot? Well, yeah, no kidding. That of course, a small percentage of overall sales right now, but it's the fastest growing stream, sir. But we're a broadcast company. Been around forever. We're people. It's in our blood. Well, advertisers are moving a larger percentage of their budgets to web. You should go along for a ride. And so the outsiders like Groupon and Local and Google and Pandora, they're getting in front of our clients. And sir, don't mean it, but our clients, they're starting to buy from the these outsiders. We more. Get back to basics. Focus on quality content. Well, frankly, if we started to focus on the web and more digital platforms, we get that profit to provide more great content for our listeners, better reach, and better engagement. So these are the way I respond respectfully to those internal objections. Those who think that every time you sell something that's digital that you're cannibalizing radio. How foolish is that? It's a fact. If radio does not offer digital to our clients, what else is going on? New local competitors. These are the new digital threats that radio truly could win. But the radio has internal battles. The more these local competitors, these new guys, are going to come out and take share from us. What in common? Patch, Pandora, Reach Local, Groupon, Google, and DataSphere. Hopefully these are all familiar to you. But what have in common? Of course, the outsiders are all pure plays, purely digital focused. They're going after your local ad dollars. In the radio business, they're in the business of going after local marketing dollars. And the one player getting the most buzz, the sexy name out there, even though they're not making any money yet, they're the ones that are really taking this pretty seriously, is Patch, a hyper-local initiative from America Online. It's AOL's hyper-local play to grab local ad dollars. You might think it's really AOL's place to come and be the local newspaper or come in and have some online hyper-local news sites, but sure, it's a part of it. But their number one goal is to get those dollars that radio typically would get. The sites aren't that sexy, but they're fun, and they keep getting better and better. They are the focus of what AOL's trying to do. Become a local community communicator, the local marketing and information provider for each town. Coupon and a variety of other platforms and other offerings to local advertisers. Why are they doing this? Because their dial-up is going down and down in terms of dial-up, but made money over the years with that. They see local media like TV, radio, newspaper downsizing, and see that local budgets, 50% of those local budgets are all sidelined from small businesses. They see local media like radio protecting its legacy business. We understand why you're protecting that business, but man, and Patch, they love the fact that you're protecting that business. It allows them to come in and get those dollars that are up for grabs. Right now, Patch is in 800 different sites right now in 18 different states. They launched back in February of 2009. Take a look, over 100 in California. There are 30 in Philadelphia right now, but by summer, they'll be 60 in Philadelphia. The community is usually 70,000. Here in Philadelphia right now, they have 30, but like I said, they'll by this summer, and they'll come in and they'll put these patches together with these little satellite patches all around it. In Philadelphia, it's in the Lehigh Valley all the way down to the Jersey Shore in Atlantic City. They're hiring the right people, taking some people from big media to be their regional publisher. They're seeing interns going directly into colleges, getting journalism students, something they call Patch University, juniors at colleges, having them write for their local patch. Find out about Patch? Well, they're making sure that all their content online is SEO optimized or search engine optimized, so people find it just being in the Google. The employees of Patch are in the community. They do a lot of grassroots marketing. When they flew Patch number 500, the mayor of Hopkins, Minnesota, stopped by to do the activities. Maybe out doing events. This is all the kind of stuff that radio does well. Hope radio is still doing this, but certainly if radio is not going to be there at the local outdoor festival, Patch is certainly going to be there with T-shirts and balloons and prizes and a tent. Here in Philadelphia, paid for parking for holiday shoppers on December 23rd, putting those in green bags and all the different parking meters and parking lots. Free parking, courtesy of Patch, a low-cost, high-value way of getting those local people in suburban Philadelphia to see and understand what the heck's a patch. Patching or taking great employees away from newspaper, TV, and radio. Go to LinkedIn and put the word patch in there, and you'll see a lot of familiar names in there. Here, if you take a look at some of the background of the regional publishers, from Gannett, A&T, Donnelly, R.H. Donnelly, these folks, they're hiring, have great local direct sales skills. The conference and recruiting people, all over the place. They are looking to hire people. The ad managers getting a $60K base. $5,000 sign bonus, 401k, mental, oh yeah, maybe medical and dental, $90,000 at plan, a cell, laptop, wireless budget. Can you see why some salespeople are in their jobs and going to for patch? Things they want you to be an online expert, host Web 101 seminars for small business, can local advertisers to move their budgets. These are all things that radio could do themselves. Local competitors. So that's one of the many. We are familiar with Groupon, taking 75% of the deal market. Look at the ship, how it's growing. Take a look at the employees. They went from 124 to 3,100 over the course of 12 months. A single female with almost 70,000 plus. Groupon is all of our markets using call centers. Groupon getting into the mainstream media looking to buy Super Bowl ads. Fortunately, they cut Super Bowl ad because it was sold out. But they're trying to break away from the pack. They want to be bigger and better. And they're a big name for online couponing. They want to break away from the pack. They wanted that Super Bowl, but they took the title sponsorship of the same show. Now, if you're running Groupon ads on your radio station site, keep in mind what they're doing is harvesting your audience, getting your audience to sign up for their deal. That is not fitting to take their ads. Now, radio and Groupon get together. Should you play with them to run Groupon ads? The answer is only if you have no plans to offer your own deals.
Hey, Mel?
Yeah.
Let me. Is it how would you, if you were a radio station, how would you structure a Groupon deal or a deal to go against Groupon?
It was work with a vendor who was open to white labeling their service fee. In other words, they will do all the fulfillment, they'll do all the stuff that Groupon does, but the radio station will retain direct contact with the client, and you wouldn't have to give up so much of your revenue to that vendor. In other words, Groupon, when they deal with anybody, they retain the database of that advertiser, which really is a deal breaker. So radio, just to summarize, should do a deal with a Groupon-like vendor, but you do not allow that vendor to retain the primary relationship or the database of that local business. Is that a question?
Yep, thank you.
Mike? Pandora, was a national radio station online, but they have gotten much better at hyper-targeting their ads. Right now, Mike, read me that Pandora has not 60 million users, but up to 75 million users with lots of revenue, top advertiser, growing sales force. And they're using geo-targeting. They're targeting by format. You can buy a local advertiser here in Philadelphia. I could be a local fan of sports by using the local class rock for Pandora. I could use video display. Some of this creative, you think Pandora selling is based on a CPM? No. They're selling based on a flat fee with maybe a mix of CPM. But look at that ad unit. It's a powerful pitch that Pandora made to Weston. Weston steps up and something like that. Same with some technology companies. What do you do stuff like this around their players with There's some independent websites right down the street from you. Here in Philadelphia, a local music site. I helped with a local media company. We created a local music site for Philadelphia with bugs and video and downloads and band directories and contests and giveaways. I didn't help a local radio station build this local music site. I helped the local newspaper build a site. How did that happen? How did radio in Philadelphia, let the newspaper create the biggest and best local music site in Philadelphia? How did that happen? These are training all their reps to go out and sell digital solutions. The local cable guys, they're out there. Comcast here in Philadelphia, now selling a variety of inactive marketing solutions to local businesses. Regional, with feet on the street, 45 markets, search and display and video and a variety of solutions, social media. These players in your markets right now. Anybody sounding like this? Google's going after local business dollars. Anybody get one of these in the mail recently? Worth of free advertising from Google. Maybe you can claim your free file of Google Places, which is sort of like a map of local business on the Google map. Don't forget digital outdoor. A local advertiser with limited budget can have a digital display billboard for a day part. You don't have to do all that creative and have it up there for 30 days. Or has now gotten to the point where a local small business can afford an outdoor billboard. Here, they hyper-local sites and wells for local TV. Costs, they got a call center calling local businesses using the TV call letters, and 80% of the share to DataSphere. Sphere is brilliant for doing this, and I think that television is foolish to let a side company cold call local businesses using their call letters and have relationships with their businesses from a call center in Seattle. So, and I do have some upside here, everybody. How radio win through all this new competitive threat? We'll just ask the question, what can radio provide that the other properties can't? What is USP, or unique selling proposition? You think that they only wish they could have. The USP you have is over 90% local reach and ubiquity, feet on the street, local content creation. You have the relationships, you have brand familiarity. Google, they only wish they had your unique selling proposition. First, we got to get some training here. Yellow Pages, newspaper, they make the most money. Radio certainly is not really getting a good local online ad share. Many on this call provide regular training to their reps, not just their reps, but entire staff on programming, and importantly, the general manager and the CEO. Top CEO and the general manager manage the web effort if they're not quite sure what it is. Site like your radio station. Simplify everything. We have 20-second spots and 13-second spots and 2-second spots. Of course not. Create a set of standards. 5s, 10s, 15s, 30s, 60s. Same thing. Simplify your online inventory. Limit your inventory. Inventory. Have some units that make people say, I want that. Up here on that limited inventory. I have some examples of what I mean by that. And then great. Take those 5 bullet points. Those are actually the main 5 bullet points of how you run your radio station. Imagine if you had unlimited spots available in a broadcast day, it'd be rough to sell, and you'd never find the proper price point. Well, that's exactly the problem you have with web. You have too much stuff, too many programs, too many ideas, too much for an advertiser to decide about web. Simplify your inventory, limit it, create WOW premium units, apply pressure on those units, and then rate. Look into that client. You want to buy your website? They're not going to say, hey, you got a great radio station. Sure, I'll buy your website. That ain't happen. Well, a lot of page view there, Mel. Or your boy, that's awesome. That's low. They're not going to say that. They're going to say, boy, you got a cool design, man. You got some flash video on the home page. You got a whole little gallery there of chicks that rock. Sign me up. Some content. Is that rock and roll content? Boy, that's unique. I couldn't find that Metallica story anywhere. I'm being sick. You're integrating Twitter, like in Facebook fan. Your morning show, your stunt boy. That's awesome. That local business decides to buy your radio station website. How they decide to buy your radio station website is ad mix. Do they need other local businesses and their competitors on your site? Radio station ran nothing but public affairs, public announcements. Think a lot of business? Of course not. Ads, pins and site takeovers and pre-rolls and format displays. They want to buy that. For example, this is beautiful. I just took a picture of this morning from Z100. Do you think Hunter Mountain, the ski resort, was had this ad unit on the front page of Z100 New York? Do you think I sold it based on the CPM? No way. And they have a page skin, and they probably have a pre-roll in audio and the video. stuff radio has to do. You can't do client. If you want to get some big bucks, this is there. So kudos to whoever said to Z100 Force, we're going to do this. And you, Mr. Program Director, who is uncomfortable with this, just shut pie hole and leave the room. We're going to make money and make our website awesome. In big money, test unit on the New York Times. I'm here with MSNBC.com. In charge and how it's best to roll out some of these premium units for pre-roll. You got to make sure that every single news session that someone's going to listen to your stream or your air be streamed online. Every news session, you have a pre-roll. It's video pre-roll and a companion ad. How much have I clicked on and listened to this radio station and it goes right into the station? We have a Monday morning at 7:20. The pre on the morning drive. Would you give that away to a PI or a per inquiry? Did you ever get that 7:20 first in pod spot to somebody who is maybe just a public service announcement? Of course not. Well, nothing running in your pre-roll online, whether audio or video, that's wide open. It goes right into your stream. That probably should be shown the door because it's doing you a great disservice. You can put a 15 or a 30 in front of that stream. And if you use a static billboard, and I'll show you what that means in a moment. For the gateway ad, when somebody clicks and they want to listen to your jet stream, they listen to your radio station online, typically you can get away with a 15 or a 30 second because they're getting ready for a long run to listen to many hours in your stream. Hopefully video pre-roll. If you can't video, why not create static billboards? It's just a graphic or it's a JPEG. Just a banner ad, basically. Audio just says, hey, this jazz24.org stream will sound is powered by Center City Toyota. You can do right away. A 5-second static opening billboard or a gateway ad. And these, okay, these mistakes. Don't call it streaming in front of a client. You can call streaming amongst ourselves or in our industry, but our clients do not know what a stream is. And your on-air people call it streaming. And say, sir, this is really what people, when they want to listen to WB101 or WX online, or they want to listen to WXXX radio, our radio station at work, we let them listen to it. When they're on their mobile phone or their Android or their iPhone, we give them a chance to do that. So we're not using technology terms. It's nothing. It's a radio station that people want to listen to on their mobile phone, their smartphone, or on their desktop. How many listeners do we have? Well, only, sir, we reach almost 500,000 people. If you don't buy our online or people listen to our radio station online, you're missing 50,000 additional listeners. That's the way we have to position this. Total reach or total ownership or total cum of 470. This is the simplicity that's necessary. Make it clear that this is prime time. That is the at-work day part. Terms and the phrases that the local advertiser understands. In the morning, newspaper and radio typically rule the day. But during the day, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, the Internet is the place to be for advertisers. It's primetime television. Also, these mistakes, one for an over-the-air stop set, online, don't run PSAs in beds. You know how horrible that sounds? Consider maybe at least take 8.5 minutes long, use some music from your hat and place it there. Heck of a lot better than beds and days. Maybe tell somebody some only spots or inform spots, 2-minute spots, 3-minute spots. Why not? And you have really good media kits they're proud of. Do you have a kit? Version that you can drop off. You can email, a PDF. Let's put the media kit right now. My favorite sports station here in Philadelphia, 610 WP. Sir, I'll help you reach men in Philadelphia on air and online. Yeah, that work day part, like, you got to be here. First, these are the basic things that the advertiser can understand. Do you know that X amount of Phillies 18 to 54 men are online? Sports fans, they're always online. And that listen to online radio. This that everybody should use. Nothing more, nothing less. Then our online radio station, we can use that many listeners and make it very clear. We have these many email subscribers, these book fans, these subscribers to our Twitter feeds. For the features that you can buy, the high-profile advertising or marketing units. Are you intrigued yet? Call me right now using this click-to-call. Call right now. Call me anytime you want. Just put in there your phone number. It will connect to me, Mr. Sales Week, and I will see something on the spot. You got one free. For a radio station, I'll make a call at Saturday night at midnight if somebody has a check for $5,000 in their pocket. The salesperson would take that call, and it's with this little Google widget, which is free. And the printed version of that widget would look like. National ad networks on your site. We're halfway through here, so we're right on time. National ad networks on your site look really, really bad. What are they? It's that kind of garbage. Don't have that stuff on your site. It diminishes the value of your site, and a local advertiser would believe the big national sites make this mistake as well. Look how bad that looks. My station here in Philadelphia, we couldn't run flat here, or I believe this just snuck in, but look how poor it looks on the front page of the largest news station here in Philadelphia. Full national networks where you really make no money. I know that you're very intrigued by these national ad nets.
Well, and they just sell those to a local advertiser and make a few bucks at least.
You get a check from one of these ad networks, maybe $5-10 grand. You say, "Hey, I got some easy money," and it kind of takes your eye off the ball. You don't have to sell because there's a check coming in. So it's almost like crack cocaine. You get that tip of that check for doing thing, and sometimes you forget that you should be selling it local direct.
Of revenue is all from local advertisers, and it's always been that way, and probably always will be.
I'm a fan of WFNX, Mike. I mean, great radio station up in the Boston, New Hampshire area. I love them. They've been around for a while. And when I took a look at their site today, this great radio station literally was losing money with their radio station online. Is the way to an ad network on their site from network position network. This is me playing a game of gotcha with this radio station. This is me saying, come on, everybody. Do you wonder why we're having trouble selling our sites and our streams? We're letting these low-value advertisers on our site, so it does to the local advertiser just screams out, "Hi, we have no local advertiser support." Some local advertiser want to step up. So take a look. They're third-party ads or remnant ads, people call them, or they're Google AdSense. Oh, it's found money. It's new money. There's no upfront cost, and the checks just come rolling in. But the bad side is that third-party automated rep is inventory. You're a big part of an inventory glut, and that lowers your pricing power. Your local business, I bet some local businesses snuck on your site. They go to a third-party ad media company, and they own your site. Found you. And monetizing your inventory. In that sense, and remnant ad networks, they do not know the value of your brand or your ownership. How to do it? At the very least, we're not suggesting get rid of all national ad networks, but first off, get rid of them on the home page and all your section fronts. You depart them overnight. Run secondary sections, or run below the fold or in non-prime positions. Whatever all the prime stuff and the page and the section front stuff to your local advertisers. And tell your advertisers who think the nets are good, just tell them, listen, we're not going to accept remnant buys, so don't think you can get on our site using these agencies. Let me show you something that you cannot buy from a network. Let me show you what you cannot buy from an ad network. Show their super premium positions. especially to streaming. Your versus CPM. Usually CPM only works when you have zillions of page views or streams. Free for local direct and regional. For you should bundle it with a big package. Basically, see really just for selling to national or interactive agencies. Use it for backfilling, just to use it for ad networks on occasion, and put them into the non-prime day parts. Things out. All about this. Would you ever price your radio station campaigns based on a monthly number? No, you always tell them what it costs per week, or per week, which is usually a week. Well, we go out there and sell the web, but we always quote per month. Like, I can afford $400 per month, but I can afford $95 a week. You're still bill the client monthly, but quote them the price weekly, just in the same way you would quote a rail flight. Only PM if you're doing big-time national or agency stuff where it makes sense and it's a nice number. Direct works, them in prime time, in non-prime. Run your remnant ads night or in non-prime times. And charge a fee for local, direct, and regional, and bundle it. If you have to, bundle to somebody who is on the fence, and you say, listen, if you do this for a full 12 weeks and spend X amount of dollars more, we will bill in this over the air, and we'll beam you into our, for people listening to our radio station at work or on a mobile device. Only spots. Well, why after people that can't afford to be on the air? Do you have a plan to target someone that would love to be on your radio station, but they can't afford it? Who's to buy your radio station, but I can't afford it, or I can't afford to be on the morning show? Make sure your reps can immediately say, would you like to be in front of the 25,000 people that listen to our morning show via a mobile device or computer? You have to be ready to respond to somebody that says, I want your morning show. I can't afford it. Okay, thank you. Thanks for stopping by. That rep has to be able to sell them a sponsorship to your morning show that is delivered via digital. And then eventually you're going to be able to upsell that client to an on-air buy. Starter plan. You'll get 14 new advertisers online very fast, and the site will look successful. Good pre-roll advertisers. 7 packages. They get the day. They own the full 24 hours as a pre-roll. You put unlimited inventory. Reps will know how to sell it that way. Once Monday's done, nobody on Monday. They got it by Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday. Do the same with display advertisers. Get 7 new display advertisers. Create a big hunkin' premium homepage position and 7 of them. That fee. You'll have 14 new advertisers. If you do this, if you cannot sell 14 packages, try to sell anything else, because this is the easiest, most high-profile packages you can sell. Staff, or you cannot do just this. That's a problem you have to fix. So the baby steps. Use point, and even go out too fast, it's a week commitment, meaning when 12 weeks is over, you can raise rate. Deal like this for a year, because you don't know what the actual sweet spot in terms of pricing is. Real fast, change compensation. Per manager, revenue and new business. And per don't hit their web number for the year. Rest of the year. Make sure they have new business and new revenue every month. And the 25 or more for new business, 10 or less for transactional. Make sure current customers are using the web. Grow your percentage of current clients using web. Penalties. If you have bonuses for your web but no penalties, well, it's still not going to be like running your radio station. You have to keep always hit their radio budget all the time. They've hit their radio budget for the past 5 years. But always never hit the budget. Well, yeah, their radio bonus, they could care less. What they do is, if they consistently hit their web all the time, they lose that account, or they lose their job. These are not I've made up. These are other companies that I've watched implement this, and they themselves around. Do our programming department based on page views and streaming hours. Do you have PDs or people who get bonuses based on page views or streaming hours? don't do that. It's done based on overall revenue and profit. All in alignment. The king of promotions, everybody. You take line with radio, add promotions and revenue. Do a radio campaign. Google can't do this. Pandora can't do this. Patch can't do this. People listen over online, drive them to an online promotion, have them download a coupon, join a contest, watch a video. You can email, get them to be Twitter or Facebook fans, build a database, targeted emails. This is what those pure plays or internet companies, they cannot do this. We're online like you're on air by the very same rules. But I think that we are at, boy, I was right on time. Are you somewhat impressed, Mike?
You did wonderfully. You cut a lot of ground in a very short amount of time.
I'm fast there, everybody, but I thought that even if I'm fast, you'd get a good sense of it. And then, of course, we'll send you these slides, or you could use the next 15 minutes to delve deeper into some of the slides that I might have gone through too fast.
One of the things that I like to talk about is maybe bundling not only the gateway but also a share of voice of the entire online stream. What do you think about building a package that includes online advertising with banner ads and the audio ads, and then the gateways and the whole 9 yards, and building a bundle around that?
Absolutely, that's the simple way of doing it, and that's the way we would encourage it. But if somebody were to put a bundle like that together, it would have to be very simple on one sheet of paper. It would have to make sense. So yeah, in a perfect world, a bundle for somebody at a premium price, certainly that makes a lot of sense. But let me tell you, Mike, the reason I said let's pull it back to create 7 packages of pre-rolls and packages of display ads is because some of the bundle gets a little complicated, even though it makes a lot of sense. I have found that if you don't scale it way back to very simple ABCs of selling or packaging, that even if by adding a couple of things and bundling, you start to add a layer of complexity. And even between all of us, we know it's not complex, but it adds some complexity to the sales rep, or they're out in the field and they get caught up a little bit when they're talking about it with a client. So yes, you want to move to what you just described, Mike, of having a bundle. That would be part 2. If I was king for a day, I would say, yeah, you want to work your way towards what Mike just said about a premium bundle. But if you have trouble, and if you tried to bundle before, and why you couldn't do that, because it makes so much sense, we just pull it back, creating a limited amount of premium singular packages are so easy to understand for a rep, easy to understand for a buyer, and it's limited. And radio, when it's sold out, you either raise rate or it's sold out. And who understands limited inventory, pressure on that inventory, then you raise rate. So that's the baby step. If you graduate from that baby step, then I suggest what Mike just recommended, the bundled approach.
Okay, we have a question from one of our viewers. Wants to know what the going rate for a 30-second video pre-roll is on a CPM basis, on a cost per thousand. Is there an average number?
Well, first off, if you are talking about going to a local direct advertiser, ask that question. Was it somebody from a small market? Was it somebody who was from a larger market that deals with agencies? But certainly, pre-roll video or a gateway video ad can be anywhere between $25 and $50 on average. But if your audience listening to a mortgage or a real estate show or financial show, that CPM goes up. So this can be a very broad question. But let's say that they have a general audience listenership and a classic rock. Really not a high super premium for that. If it's a financial show or it's a show based on real estate, well, advertisers will pay a higher CPM. But in general, to recap, a video pre-roll, 30 seconds, probably get you $20, $30, $40 on average. But I think that they have enough video streams or audio streams in order to really crank up some real revenue. We talk about share of voice and selling local direct. I know a big wide answer there, but unless you have a lot of video streams or audio streams, even if $100 CPM you're getting, you don't have enough listenership of that name to actually be able to execute on that buy.
So you recommend for a radio station rather than to try and sell their gateways on a CPM basis, to just sell it on a per spot basis, just like they sell the rest of their inventory.
Well, I recommend going back to the gateway. Somebody's that gateway for the entire day. And the client always says, "Where's my ad? Where's my ad?" They're all going to be there. Make sure that people start selling this and instead of getting involved with CPMs, because now you're going to have a discussion with some client over PMs, and that's not a discussion you want to be a part of. Remember I said that CPMs are okay if you have a national reach and hundreds of thousands and millions of streams or users. Then you can make money. But for a mid-sized radio station that doesn't have an awful lot of users that are on the stream every day, you find that even if you got a $50 CPM, you wouldn't make much money anyway. That's you think that a flat fee, you own the pre-roll for the entire day, and if you get 7 of them, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, if you at least sell out 7, you're building some momentum, and that you're more likely to be successful by really dialing it back and selling these very simple packages instead of jumping ahead to doing a stream like you're a national or international radio station. You need that type of heft in order to make any money with gateways.
Great. Question from one of our viewers, what's your opinion on selling all the websites that you own for the price of one? Say you've got 5 stations. Do you blow all those 5 stations into one package, or do you sell them individually?
Oh, absolutely. Certainly, you'll have individual prices for each station. Certainly provide a discount if they bought all 5 or bought all 3. Absolutely. Much like you with your inventory if you were selling a cluster of over-the-air spots. So, once again, try to take as much of your sales tactics that are successful in radio and apply to your online. With radio, you're not going to be negotiating with national advertisers if you're a small radio station. You're with local direct. We just want to ensure that if you're a small or mid-sized radio station, everybody works on the air there in your market, you really should be using the same tactics with your online.
Okay. Social networking strategies. What social networking strategies can stations use to leverage online and grow their audience online?
Now to be able to sell social networking a la carte, meaning charge to reach your Twitter subscribers or charge to reach the radio station's Facebook fans. You might not want to do that quite yet, but you can integrate. You can integrate Facebook in one of your promotion packages. In other words, when you sold a big deal to an advertiser, you would always you would bundle in an event or a live remote or a contest, right? Well, we use Facebook and Twitter to do the same thing, sending out or blasting out coupons. If you have 1,500 people as a part of your Twitter subscriber base, or maybe 1,500 people have subscribed to your text messaging service, well, that client, that if that is this big package, you will blast out a coupon to that person's cell phone for them to redeem this weekend for buy one, get one water ice, and is water ice. So at this point in time, use social media and mobile to supersize your current packages. You will be able to sell mobile and social a la carte, but right now, we believe it's best to supersize your packages, your traditional packages, with these new forms of media, which are Twitter and Facebook and mobile.
Okay. Speaking of mobile, what kind of interest are you seeing from advertisers to reach smartphone listeners? Are they willing to pay more to get that additional mobile audience?
you're able to get in front of an advertiser and let them know that this package, your premium package, includes a mobile component, they'll take it because they need to get back to their boss saying, hey, listen, I'm buying over the air, I'm doing a face campaign, I got an event here, and I'm buying mobile. It makes them look good. They're not quite sure how to track it, but they know they have to start experimenting with it. So when you can embed a mobile campaign into your traditional selling, you should. Are there advertisers that want to just buy your mobile? Yes, but those numbers are not big yet, or in terms of the ability for you to make some nice money, they're quite there yet. Chances are your SMS or your text-based subscriber list maybe is not large enough to crank out some nice revenue. So I would suggest to bundle that stuff in, but then keep an eye on it, knowing that time more and more people will ask you, so what do you got in terms of mobile? And you'll have some things set up, like maybe SMS texting, X amount of people that subscribe to your Twitter feeds, and over time, mobile will become a larger stream of revenue that you'll be much better prepared for if you start to using it as a part of the overall package now, as opposed to trying to go, hey, I have just a purely mobile package. We probably recommend that you don't do it a la carte yet. You eventually probably will be selling it a la carte somewhere in the near future.
This is one from Julie. How our CMS also designs our websites. They require every site's banner to host 25% of each banner ad to Google. Do you recommend going through any other venue to host this without the help of the CMS? For example, another website provider.
You see the CMS that they use, that they are required to have 25% of their inventory run a Google ad. Did I hear you correctly?
Yeah, that's what it says. Yeah, that's the question.
Well, I don't know what the deal was, that maybe, that radio station got the platform at a reduced cost in exchange for giving back that unit. But here's what, in a problem, you would not want to do a deal like that. And why? Number one, you move that ad unit around. Does it have to be on the front page or above the fold? Or you take that 25% of your inventory and put it somewhere else. If that was the case, I'd be kind of comfortable with it. Number two, you find that local advertisers that do not buy directly from you, they're not showing up on your site because they're on your site via that Google ad. So these are things that you're doing a deal with a vendor or a content management system vendor, you're not quite sure of the ramifications of those decisions. So I recommend that anytime you talk to a vendor, that your content, that your CMS and serving, whenever word, whole inventory, keep in mind at level, the CPMs have plummeted for selling into local sites from national. National rep firms selling into local media sites have seen CPMs plummet from the mid-teens to $3 and $4. And that's a fact. Somebody just a few days ago, they got a quarter check from a vendor who represents them nationally, media company in a market. They got a for $7,000 for 3 months. And that's because there's too much national competition. And the CPM continues to plummet, which is why we highly recommend that you try to avoid discussing CPM. You can get internally, but sell local direct as much as you possibly can.
Okay, another good one. You mentioned very early on whitelist services for competing with Groupon. Can you name a couple of those companies that people will be able to go to create their own Groupon type deals for their stations?
A whole list that I'll forward to you, Mike, so those people get this. But if you did a Google search right now, you would find that there's at least 20 white label services that provide Groupon-like functionality. And what I'll do is I'll send the list I have to Mike at Abacast. You guys can get that list from them.
What kind of a deal structure is Groupon offering to their local advertisers? Can you give us a little more background on that?
They have people in call centers, and they can choose who they're going to do a deal with. to give me $100 worth of product, 50% of the rate, and then get X amount of people to buy that coupon or buy that 50% offer, then the offer becomes valid. And it's a performance-based deal. That's why advertisers love it. They're getting advertising. They're getting all this awareness of their product or their service at no money up front, and that's why it's so powerful. So Groupon is tapping into the performance-based benefit the Internet provides. And Groupon is making all their money is local advertisers. Sure, they're doing the national stuff with the Casey's and Amazon and eBay, but they're all really making the majority of their money going to local and regional advertisers. And these local advertisers all love to do stuff where you only pay if the performance occurs. And that's to the chagrin of traditional media. So the side is the advertiser gets it free up front, but when people buy, or all of a sudden they get X amount of people that buy into the coupon, they call it as tipping. When 100 people redeem or buy that half price off, then it's valid. The downside is Groupon keeps 50% of that money. The upside is the advertiser gets an all lot of traffic, but could see that's losing proposition. But here's where it gets worse. If you deal with Groupon as a radio station, Groupon has the relationship with the client. That is a deal breaker. You should never, as a media company, ever let an outside technology company have a relationship with your local advertiser, no matter how much money they are trying to bribe you with, no matter how many ads they buy on your site. Even if Groupon says, I'm going to give you a $50 CPM to run my banner on the front page of Z100. No, and Z100 should never take the banner from Groupon, because what they're doing is harvesting that still coupon infused, and that they will not be able to do a deal with their listener Z100 if they decide to do so.
Well, great. Thank you very much, Mel. I think we're about out of time. For everyone who submitted a question that we didn't get a chance to answer, we've got a log of all of them, and we will do our best to answer them via email and send the results back to you that way. Mel will get us a copy of the slides, and we will put those in the email to each of you who participated. And I want to thank you very much for your time and all of your great insights. Once again, it's meltaylormedia.com. His phone number is there. We are abacast.com, and our phone number is 360-834-5229, and our website is www.abacast.com. And we'd love to, if you have any questions that we didn't get to today, you can email me. I'm mdalfonzo@abacast.com, and we'll get all that info to you in a follow-up email to everyone who participated today. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. We'll do another one of these probably in about 4 to 6 weeks. So be watching your email for our next webinar. And thank you very much, and have a great day.